5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
Good morning. We are back home.
You know, it's funny.
Well, actually, we're not home yet.
No, we're not home yet. That you're in a t-shirt and I'm all bundled up.
That's
kind of funny because I'm freezing.
I'm naturally insulated.
Yeah.
Bam.
Hey guys.
So yeah, we got home safely. Well, we got to the church. We got to the church safely.
Yeah, we're still not home, guys. We've been out of the house since Sunday morning and we're still not home.
Yeah, it was a blessing to see Pastor Rick again. Not only him, but Dave and his wife Deanna. They're the ones that are the elders and leaders there at Yarrington.
Yeah.
We went to the pastor meeting. It's more of a lunch prayer meeting.
Yeah, it was a pastoral. What they do is they gather together. They talk about, they do a fellowship. It's a pastoral gathering. They kind of go around and they kind of talk about their churches, and then they share a little bit about the upcoming events and everything, and then they go into prayer for their community, for the city, and
cool.
And they get to meet all the pastors within that city and that community, and talk about issues within the community and city, which is really nice.
Yeah, so including us, because they counted us as a church. Those 13 churches.
Yeah.
The pastors there represented, and that was cool. It was cool to see because honestly, it's something we don't see very often. I mean, they were all from the Reno area, and really nice people. I mean, obviously we didn't get to sit there hours and hours, get to know people, but just, they were very pleasant and hospitable, and especially because they knew we were visiting, they all made sure to introduce themselves and welcome us to the city of Reno. And but that was our last thing that we were doing, and then boom, headed straight over here to have Bible study with you guys. And man, the questions you guys brought, man, it's not easy to answer these things, and
especially after a long drive. I bet it was like...
Yeah, it was a 3.5 hour drive.
And then you had to come and make sure that the sound and everything, because of the board and everything.
Yeah, because we were having technical difficulties on Sunday, and then we had to leave. So I had to come deal with that, and so far so good. I'm going to test it again tomorrow, though. I'm just going to let music play for an hour, and just make sure everything's running right, because I don't want no issues on Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's hard, it's fun, it's challenging. When people ask questions, I have no idea what they're gonna ask. But like I've always told Sharon, it keeps me on my toes. It reminds me of in prison, because I would get hit with so many different things, and it doesn't mean I have the answers to everything. I don't mind saying, what, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun. I think you guys like it and enjoy it. It just different subjects all over the place, and it's fun. If I missed your question, I apologize.
Yeah, I had to skip through some of them, guys. I had to because I think I was only able to get to partial of the middle or a little past the middle, and I had to skip through some to get to some towards the end because there was just too many, guys. Sometimes it does become too many, and I was writing them down to the best that I could.
So, I mean, we had a group here asking questions.
Yeah.
We had you guys asking questions.
And I wasn't even able to get to the Facebook ones at all.
We completely didn't even get to Facebook.
And I apologize to my Facebook family. I deeply apologize. I could not find my phone. I didn't even know where I had left my phone. Yeah. And then I ended up finding it under my music on the podium.
Oh, yeah.
I left my phone under the podium, under the music, and I could not find it. And then I found it until later, and it was literally at 2%. So I was like, great. Yeah. So I left it on under the music. So I greatly apologize if I did not. I know we're probably going to do one more Wednesday with questions and answers, and I promise that I will get to Facebook with your questions and answers first. I will go to Facebook first.
Yeah, I mean, just coming straight from Reno to here, we didn't have a lot of time to prepare, so but yeah, guys, it was a lot of fun. I had something on my head that I wanted to talk about, though. What was it?
It was on your head?
Oh, no, I remember now. I remember
now. I was looking to see if it was on your head.
is, a lot of times, we've been using the word before of being intentional, and when you are intentional, a lot of things happen. And I'll give you a perfect example, and I'm not doing this to bring out my book, the new one, but I'm not trying to bring another point to sell books, but I was very intentional when we started that study, that each week, whatever we talked about, I was going to write it as a chapter. And I was intentional, and now 2.5 months later, it's in my hands.
I know.
So if you have a movie, a book, a ministry, a Bible study, and you're just like, man, I'm just waiting for it, can you imagine if you became intentional with that? If you became intentional with that goal, if your goal is to, like Tony and Michelle in Phoenix, we want to start a house church. They were intentional, and boom, and that doesn't mean they had all the answers.
Yeah.
But they did it, and so, I like, we had a Zoom with them, and they were talking about, man, we can't wait for more cities like Phoenix to raise up for House of Rest, and he started in his prayer, actually, it was in his prayer, and it's like, man, what does happen if we became intentional? You guys, in your walk, in your own devotional life, in your own walk with Christ, what would happen if you would say, you know what, I've been lagging on this, but you know what, I'm going to be intentional. Now, I will say this, the book would have never got done if the whole book was, like I was trying to write a whole book. But you know what I did? I said, you know what, whatever I teach, I'm going to write a chapter on it the next day. The next week, whatever I taught, I'm going to write a chapter on it the next day. And guess what? In 2.5 months, I have a paperback book that's going to last longer than I last.
Yep.
So that is a perfect example of being intentional. If you want to have a Bible study group, if you want to do something like that, be intentional.
I think in anything, I think when you did that, when we had that devotional about being intentional, I think it sparked something in me. Remember?
Yeah.
It really did, you guys. And I'm going to share this because I think I have to share it with you guys because eventually you guys are going to find out anyways. But it really did spark something in me because I think within the following day or two, I came to David and I said, I think it's time. It's time for me to do something for me. I have so many gifts and I have so many things that I want to do that I have not been able to do. And you guys know that I make salsa and I do my baking and I do so many things. And I finally decided that I was going to market my salsa. And he says, okay, well, what do you need? Maybe I can help you. And I said, no. I said, I don't want you to help me. And then my son was like, Mom, if you want, I'll help you. What do you need? And I said, no, I don't want you guys to help me. I don't want any of you guys to help me. And guys, I decided, on my own, I said, I'm going to take out my own little credit card, a small little credit line. I don't qualify for a big old credit line. I don't. But I told myself that I was going to take out a small little credit card, and I qualified for a very small amount. And that specific little credit card, I was going to go get myself the little things that I needed so that I can get started and get myself, my bottles and my things that I needed. And I did that, and I got myself my little machine, everything that I needed. And I did that because of the devotional that we did talking about being intentional. And my husband is seeing me being intentional. Are you not? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do it, guys, because, I finally realized that unless I became intentional in doing something, it was never going to happen. And I realized that I wanted to be intentional in this, that, I want to do something, something that I was capable of doing, something that, I love to do. And I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited. And he's been watching me, you know, and in the midst of me being busy and doing everything that I'm still doing and everything, I'm going to make this happen, and I'm excited about it. And, you know, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to be intentional.
You know, I liked something Tony had said also in that Zoom meeting. And that's exactly why I like Grace International, is he likes the fact that Grace International supports raising up leaders in those countries for those leaders to then disciple people. He goes, because back in the day, you would spend thousands of dollars to send an American to that country.
Yeah.
When you could have spent that money to raise a leader up in that place.
Yeah.
You know, and I like the fact that he realized that. That's
Yeah.
why I'm glad. That's the first time I heard him say something positive about a covering.
Yeah.
Because he saw that, right? And it's like, so when I see what's happening in Phoenix, and I'm just like, man, because I remember when we went to Vegas for your work, I'm just like, man, why is the Lord telling me to have a house of rest in this city? Why? I'd never been there. I don't know anybody there. I mean, now we know a few people, but, you know, so I realized, man, and then when he was praying about other cities, I'm just like, what would happen? Because, like, okay, the book, yeah, okay, that's a blessing to me. The salsa, that's a blessing to you. But ministry is a blessing to you. So what would happen if I would be intentional and really truly helping the people in those cities?
Yeah.
You know, for people that we know, people we've talked to here and there, but like really truly, instead of saying, hey man, you should start a church in your house, you should start a house church, but of saying, you know what? If your heart is in this, let's do this. Let's be intentional. Let's raise you up. Let's build you up and be intentional with it.
Yeah.
What would that do? You know, and it's just beautiful, man. The things just going to Reno and Nevada, somehow I don't think it's fully hit me of what God has been showing me in these last few days.
Yep.
Because I'm tired, you know, but I think in the next few days, God's going to reveal to me why exactly, because there's several reasons why God had us go. A few of those have been revealed to us. Others haven't. Just going, seeing the church of 20, seeing the you know, Pastor Rick showed us the church in Reno, which is amazing. If you're in the Reno area, first of all, I mean, the building is it's crazy because on the outside you can't tell, like this.
Yeah.
But when you go in, you just feel the Spirit of God.
Yeah.
But besides that, the type of man of God that Rick is.
Yeah.
If you're in the Reno area and if you're looking for a place, trust me, this is the place where Spirit led.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, meeting Yasvel and her husband Josue.
Yeah. And then finding out that Sister Deanna
that is crazy.
ended up going into a doctor's office and being seen by Yasvel.
Yeah.
Yasvel, we found out that you drew her blood.
So
you
this
know?
is crazy, right? So you guys know the context of this.
Yeah.
Yarrington is an hour away from Carson City. Carson City is the capital of Nevada. And this little church of 25, the leaders, the elders of that church, Rick is the pastor there, but the elders are Dave and Deanna. Deanna had to go, gets her blood drawn. They drive an hour away. Well, I'm sorry. We go to Yarrington. Yasvel comes, her and her husband comes and fellowships with us.
And they met them.
They met them. All of a sudden today, Dave and Deanna drive all the way to Carson City to get her blood drawn, and it's Yasvel that does it.
And Yasvel recognizes her and drew her blood, and then she ends up going to the meeting after, and she says, guess who drew my blood today? And I said, who? She goes, the young girl who you guys invited to our church.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And she says, yes, she drew my blood. And I was like, wow. Well, is that, come on guys, that's the Lord.
We went for many reasons, but one of them, we want to build stronger ties, not only with Pastor Rick, because we already have a strong tie to him, but his congregation, his leaders, his people that are around him. And also, like, for instance, Yasvel and her husband are a huge part of you guys. This, what we got going. But for her to meet people in her state, you know, and her husband also, that's really important to us. This Friday, we're meeting with Pastor Mauro and his wife in Stockton, the Stockton Grace International Church, to build that and build more ties and build more friendship and bonding there, you know. And man, we just, we just want to be intentional because like there's a chapter that Sharon was reading, and I don't know, she probably thought I was halfway listening because I was driving and she was reading.
You were listening?
Yes.
Oh.
And it was about time, right? And it said this basically, and I'll make it and I'll summarize it. When you have a bookshelf, that bookshelf can only hold so many books. That bookshelf is meant for X amount of books, and if you want to add more books, you're going to have to take some books off because only that bookshelf can only hold so many books. Well, in the same way, our life, our daily life, we only get 24 hours a day. We only get 7 days a week. We only get 30 days a month. We only get 365 days a year, you know? So are the books of the shelf of your life intentional? Or is there books on your shelf that are just collecting dust when you could just get those books out?
He was paying attention.
You know what I mean? So we got to be intentional. It's like, how many days of our life do we really truly have? I want to be intentional in the books that I write, in the salsa you make, in the movies I make, in the sermons I preach, in the Bible studies I give, in the leaders I raise up. Because here's the thing, I can only reach so many people. You know, and I think a lot of you guys get blessed by the way I teach, but can you imagine if I multiplied that? Because I can't be around at all times in all places. But to raise up leaders in Vegas, in Phoenix, in Carson City, in Los Angeles, in San Jacinto, in Texas or Boston or wherever else, can you imagine the impact we would make if we were intentional about it?
Yes.
You know, and it's like, I'm just like, Lord, you know, I want to wake up every morning and say, what am I going to accomplish today? Because you know what? I accomplished this book in 2.5 months. You know, if I can accomplish a book in 2.5 months, what else can I do in 2.5 months? Because if I do nothing, 2.5 months goes like that.
Quick.
I could have done those Bible studies for the last 2.5 months on Wednesday, and we just would have moved on to another Bible study, and that's it. But you know what? It produced a book. That's crazy to me. You know, and even though I think I have a lot of things that I've done, you know, books and movies, this and that, but this is different when I said, you know what, we're going to do this book and we're going to do it, and here it is. Bam. You know? Yeah, guys, we want to, you know, to see the need in a small town like Yerington or a big city like Reno and a place like Modesto and a place like Stockton, you know, and I'm just like, Lord, I want to be intentional for you. What is it you want us to do? You know, and I think all of us need to ask that question. Lord, what do we need to do? Because if it is not I who live, but you who live in me, then I'm stopping you. Because a lot of times we're just like, Lord, I'm waiting for you. And he's like, what are you talking about? I've been waiting a long time for you. Mm-hmm. When are you going to get off the couch? When are you going to get up and do something? When are you? Don't wait on me. The Lord's like, I did my work 2,000 years ago on the cross. I'm waiting on you now. You know, and, well, you didn't think I was listening or what? Because I'm driving? You know, guys, so, you know, I don't really have a specific thing. I think we already talked about, we're being,
intentional.
We already did an intentional devotion, but.
We're being intentional, and I'm freezing in here. Yeah. And I want to go home, and I want to be intentional and get in my bed. That's what I want to do. You
know, because it's funny because, you know, just some things we talked about when we were in Nevada and stuff, because after the first night, you know, Sharon admitted to me, she goes, I didn't really want to come out here. She goes, I didn't really want to. She goes, but I know that you got drained writing this book, and I knew you wanted to get away. She goes, I just went. She goes, honestly, I didn't want to. But here's the thing, the Lord started revealing stuff to us where she goes, you know what, David? This was a God thing. This was strategic. Yeah. God got us out of our house. He got us over here because just some things that happened and transpired and things we talked about. And so it changed her whole perspective. And it was only that first night where she said, I didn't really want to be here. After that, boom, she realized this was God's plan.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
it absolutely was.
So doesn't mean we weren't homesick. We did get homesick finally around last night.
This morning and last night,
last night we're like, yeah, we're ready to go home.
I want to be in my bed. I want to see the boys, even though they drive me nuts. But I just wanted to see the boys' faces. I wanted to see I wanted to see my church family, and I just missed everybody. I just miss our church, and I just miss being in our hometown and in our house.
Because even though we haven't been to our house yet, we still feel like we're home.
Yeah.
Because we're here.
Yeah. It just feels different, guys, when you're not home.
Yeah.
You know, you just miss the presence of being home. And I know it may be chaotic sometimes because we're always busy and running around and stuff, but that's our life, guys. This is our life. This is what our life is. Our life is just doing the things for the Lord, and this is what we love, you know, because we're always constantly doing for the Lord, and we love it. I don't think we can ever see life. It wouldn't be life if it wouldn't be doing for the Lord, you know, and we love it. We love it.
Yeah, but I did appreciate your questions, man. You know, like some of the questions, you know, there is no dumb questions.
There isn't.
There isn't, you know.
I think everybody's at different levels.
Yeah.
Everybody's at a different level in their walk, and I think every question is a good question because, you know, when I love that everybody respects everybody on there, and not people are not tearing people down and being like, oh, that's a dumb question or anything, because there is no dumb questions, and I love that people are not disrespecting people on there, because we understand that. We understand that there's baby Christians, there's people that are more seasoned on there, there's people that don't even know the Lord at all, you know, and we respect that. And that's what it's all about. It's being at different levels, you know, in Christ, and being at different levels in life, period.
Yeah.
And we know that, we understand that. And that's what it's about. When we truly say you come as you are, you really do come as you are, you know, and I think that's what house arrest is, you know. You can, the same way you can go on to a place where you can comment is the same way you can actually walk in the door here, and it's going to be the same thing. You're going to get treated the same way, with respect and love, you know, and embrace the same way. Yeah.
Okay.
Amen.
So, guys, it's fun hanging out with you guys, but we want to get to our house.
Yeah, it's time to jump into a warm, cozy bed and just, you know, and get some rest, guys. You know, we love you guys, and just thank you for always being with us on our little journeys, and thank you for always praying for us and praying for our safety to come home. We love you guys for that.
Yeah, Pastor Al was kind of trying to clown and saying, you said you went to see the wild horses, and I just saw a picture of one because of the white one.
He didn't see the other few that were on there?
Yeah, but I told them, I said, oh, I got wild horses, guys. Just letting you guys know, in case any of you guys thought the same thing, is that I actually used my drone. And we saw some wild horses, but obviously this is my phone. So that I got to wait to get home, upload that stuff, and trust me, you're going to see some wild horses. And then they're like, well, they don't look so wild. I'm like, do you realize a wild horse means not an owner? There's not like horses going, ah, wild.
Yeah, what do they think?
Yeah. And I love what Trinity said. He says, a wild horse you can tell because the tail is not cut. The tail goes down, and that white horse, that tail went to the floor.
Yeah, but you guys see how beautiful it was?
And then, here's the thing, right?
Then we found out that there's wild burros.
Yes, I was happy,
donkeys.
right? I was happy. I'm like, okay, I can die, Lord. I've seen the wild horses. And then Rick goes, you do know that there's wild donkeys, right?
We're all like, what? Now we're gonna go back.
But he said not there. He says down
up north.
No, south.
So we're gonna go and look for wild donkeys next.
Now I'm like, okay, Lord, never mind. You can't take me yet because I gotta see.
What do you mean? You're not supposed to go at all yet.
No, but I was like happy. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I saw the wild horses, but now I need to see the wild donkeys.
Hee-haw.
So, yeah, man.
I want to go look for wild donkeys next.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride one back.
Hey.
What?
Babe, you'll break the poor donkey.
It's messed up.
I just picture.
What?
I just pictured the poor donkey. You sit on the donkey and it goes ding.
That's messed up.
Like break the poor little four legs.
Leave the donkey alone.
You leave the donkey. Oh my God, you leave the donkey alone.
She's tired, okay? I need to get her home.
Yes, guys, I'm so tired.
You know what's any funny? If she dreams all night about donkeys.
Broken leg.
Broken leg donkeys?
They're gonna be like
That's messed up, eh?
You're messed up for breaking their legs.
Wow.
Oh my God, you guys.
She's just keeping it real, huh?
I'm sorry, but poor donkey. Why would you want to ride a donkey? I'd rather you ride a horse, not a donkey.
Yeah, but it's funner to ride a donkey.
No, not you.
Little burro.
Oh God. All right, guys, we love you guys. Have a good day. Enjoy your coffee. Raina's probably cracking up.
She probably wants to ride a donkey too.
See, you wanted a devotional, Raina. Now you got a devotional, okay?
Sister Raina was literally telling us right now as she left, she goes, can you guys do a 2-hour devotional?
After she's the one that asked she's the one that asked about the tattoo question at the last minute. I mean, hello.
All right, guys.
All right. Bye. We love you guys.
Bye.